Knight 742. What is that? That is 5. Is that rubles?
Is it yen?
Yeah, it's a yen.
Oh, it's a yen.
Yeah.
500 yen. Well, thank you so much, Knight 742. It says Bounty into Comics just published an article about Clooney's Batman replacing Keaton at the end of The Flash. I mean, where is this coming from?
Clooney's 59 years old, I think. So, I could be wrong.
Michael Keaton's in his 60s.
No, I know, but
I'm Batman.
I'm like, you're trying to get a longer running Batman, but
they're trying to get rid of the Batman. Like what? They add more to the mix.
I believe it.
A new one.
I think it's true.
I don't. I think it's fucking preposterous. Because it comes from Grace fucking Randolph.
I think this is something that James Gunn may have done. Like, I don't know this. This is just me speculating. But this sounds like something that James Gunn may have done. And I'll tell you why I think that. Because what we know is that there's nothing beyond this movie. The DC universe is going to be rebooted. There's no The Flash 2. There's no Michael Keaton's Batman Part 3. None of this is forthcoming. Michael Keaton's Batman is one and done here. Now, we also know that they had all of this footage that was set up to build further sequels and everything like that, right? And now they're no longer happening. So what I think, this is just me speculating. I have no sources or anything like this here. This is just my pure speculation and nothing else. But my speculation that I think fits this observation is that when they ripped out all of the tissue which was meant to set up something for the future, then they needed something to replace it with, just to have the movie make sense. So instead, what I think that James Gunn did was that, okay, now I'm going to find a way to explain how you went from Keaton's Batman to Kilmer's Batman to Clooney's Batman, because as you correctly pointed out, Tom, all of these are meant to be the same Batman. Yet somehow there was like this creative change in what the world looked like between the movies.
Oh, this comes from Sil Abdul. Never mind. Don't even take. Sorry.
I don't know where it's from. I'm just like speculating out loud here. This is just me speculating.
No, I just read the story. Sorry. I have no faith in this report at all.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm just saying that one way that it can be true is just that James Gunn decided, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we now go and we explain how Batman went and he looked different from one movie to the next, and used the Flash to do that. I can see that as something that they did to retrofit the movie for one final time, this time without building anything for the future. Chris Gore, does that sound plausible to you, or am I just reaching here?
Sorry. What's the question? I was answering an email.
Oh yeah, there you go. No, basically, like, do you think there's anything to the rumors that Clooney is replacing Keaton's Batman at the end of the Flash?
No, that's BS. That's BS. I mean, a lot of these rumors are just fan, wish fulfillment. Like, oh, wouldn't it be cool? But no, that's not going to happen. That's not.
And it wouldn't also be cool because it's silly and preposterous.
That's correct. But I do hear, I know a couple people who've seen The Flash and they love it. They say it's really good. I was pretty impressed with that trailer. I thought the trailer, it looks like a fun adventure. There's a heart to it. It's Barry trying to save his mother. It's the consequences of that and how that disrupts a multiverse.
How?
And well, I think we saw it in the trailer. He
creates a verse with no metahumans and no one to fight the bad guys.
Why would him trying to save his mother have anything to do with anybody else, especially shit before he was even born?
No, because whatever changes he made to his universe to do what he wanted to do affected everything else. I mean, that's how these things tend to plot out.
They do, but they're supposed to affect everything else from a fixed point across everywhere.
That's what I'm getting at.
But
that's the biggest logic flaw in the Flashpoint concept is that it doesn't work that way.
I agreed, but if we're going to start arguing over this, then we're going to start talking about can the Hulk beat up Superman. I don't want to.
That's not how the Force works, though.
Actually, when it comes to something like that, it's whatever the writer's outcome wants it to be, because it's not predicated on time travel principle.
all I know is that a lot of people's hearts started beating faster when they saw the Keaton Batman, and then went back down after they saw the female Superman.
I was a little disappointed that we saw almost a verbatim shot from an Arkham Asylum video game of Batman doing something that doesn't feel like it should be in a movie.
They just have to prevent anyone who's played the game from watching the movie.
Well, my issue was seeing a 60-year-old Batman do stuff he couldn't do in 1989.
I don't have. First of all, I don't have any issues with it. I mean, I like it. Looks fun.
Yeah,
it looks like this is going to wrap up. It's going to introduce us and reset the universe, as James Gunn pointed out. And I think it's great. I don't think Keaton was ever, based on the technology, ever able to go full Batman. So I think the best we've seen Batman in combat was actually in Batman v Superman, in that scene where he takes out, all the villains in that warehouse. So I have no problem with any of that. I think it's awesome. I think it's freaking cool. And who knows when we're seeing this Batman, or how old this Batman is, the Keaton Batman, right?
And he was in his mid to late 60s when he filmed it. So
what's that?
He was in his mid to late 60s when he filmed it. So
exactly. So look, it looks a lot of fun. I think that and I've spoken directly with two people who've seen the movie. They actually say the girl who plays Supergirl, it's really good. It's an interesting, different take. It's different. So I don't think she's going to survive. I think she's a one and done. I think Ezra Miller may be one and done after this. I don't know that he'll continue. If you look at the pathway, I don't see how he fits into James Gunn's universe. So, but no, it was a fun trailer, unexpectedly good. And I think that,
I agree with Chris.
It wasn't just about Keaton. I thought that, Ezra Miller interacted with a different version of himself, and you can tell them apart. Why? They have different haircuts. So
that's called hair acting.
Acting. So I think it looks great. I think it looks like a lot of fun, and I've heard it compared to Back to the Future 2, because you're going through events that you already are aware of or have seen in other movies. Obviously, Man of Steel plays into it because Zod is there, so we're going to see a different result of those events.
Yeah, we get to see Supergirl beat his ass instead of Superman.
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that.
I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with
that at all. So I think, and look.
Okay, but every other movie we have an issue with the girl becoming the key to everything. She's literally coming in and replacing Superman, Henry Cavill Superman,
but
to beat Zod.
Yeah, but we have to find out how.
Yeah, everything I've heard is she's a highlight of the film. Her take on this character, it's a different take. It's a different Supergirl. She's not blonde in a miniskirt. So
she's Latino.
Yeah, she's different. It's different. My understanding is I guess she lands in a South American country, so it's just different.
So that shouldn't make her Latino, though.
Homeless.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
telling me to shut up out there. I thought the trailer looked great. Can't wait to play the video game, because that's what it fucking looked like to me.
I think it looked.
We all know what happens in the movie. All this trailer did was confirm all the leaks from a year ago.
I have no idea. Don't tell me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I've spoken to two people who've seen it and they loved it. Now, I do think that they told me what some of the things that happened in the end, and I think it's going to be different, because I think they definitely will have changed the ending as a reset for James Gunn. But Ezra Miller going forward, if you look at the slate that James Gunn announced, I don't see how Ezra Miller fits in. And maybe he has to, maybe he kind of sacrifices himself so he can stay with his mom. Who knows? I've heard it's a combination of comedy and heartfelt, and so there you go. And maybe maybe Henry Cavill is still in the movie. We still don't know. But I think people were pleasantly surprised by the trailer it's gotten a fairly positive reaction. I mean, I watched it like 3 times and I thought that's a movie I want to see.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'll you know how Ezra Miller stays? $2 billion in gross.
Yeah. If it makes a lot of money, mine would change. So,
Now, the main thing that no one is talking about, which if you are trying to hang your hat on what Gunn is doing and how he's dealing with the existing properties, you look no further than his tweet where, and I quote, "I love this." This is with Reflash. "I love this movie so much. Can't wait for you all to see it." That is, he's hanging himself out to dry with that statement if he's wrong.
Yep.
That you know, why would he do that? Why would he write that if he did not believe that this was going to be he's going to be able to have
2
money?
reasons. One, to stay in good graces with Warner Brothers because they have 7 years of production expenses behind this film, and 2, not to ruin the potential box office with the film as well.
I agree, but he didn't have to be this effusive.
Well, he has to make up for a lot of anti-Trump tweets. So
I agree with Script on this one. I don't think that means anything, what he says right there. I read as completely generic marketing statement that can mean that he genuinely likes the movie, or that he genuinely wants the studio to make as much money as possible on it, given that so many people now know that James Gunn is going to reboot everything anyway, and there is no future in it.
He didn't
He
have
also
to,
said Tom King was a great writer too. Remember that?
Exactly, and that makes me question everything about James Gunn.
He didn't have to write anything. So
that he may have had. He's the head of DC right now.
No, but Warner is hitching their wagon to his reputation and brand. If the movie sucks and people view his take on it here as completely incorrect, there's going to be less trust in anything he says from here on in. It's not a benefit to Warner either to hang Gunn out to dry.
No, you're absolutely right. But then that's under the presumption that Warner Brothers is actually, and most Hollywood people are actually thinking 3 or 4 months ahead, and they don't.
Exactly.
Like that's just one of the things they don't. They're told, okay, marketing needs to make sure this movie's a success. Everybody get out there, say something positive, so that we can hopefully make some money.
Well, and I think that trailer. Because I have to say that even I was like, "Whoa, this doesn't look half bad." Yeah. And I think that a lot of people, as you guys point out, a lot of people will be pleasantly surprised by that trailer. Many people who don't remember like 3 news cycles ago, which was when Ezra was going crazy being... Yeah, we don't need to have Ezra being Ezra.
Let me put it to you this way. I had 3 of my normie friends reach out to me last night to celebrate that Michael Keaton's back. I'm like, yeah, that's old news 5 years ago. And they said, I really don't want to see it because of Ezra Miller. Their response was, who?
Exactly. There you go. Like in this sense, it only goes to show that that they were right in waiting this out in a sense, because they know the audience will be outraged exactly as it is in the news cycle, but they're going to forget everything about it 1 or 2 news cycles down the line. Then it's going to be Ezra who? It's just going to be some...
They had no fucking clue who I was talking about.
His graciness.
Not a clue.
You live in a bubble.
I kept referring to it as the Batman trailer.
No, Paul, it's more so that we just need to understand that most people don't know who Ezra Miller is yet. He's not like a huge star or anything. Sorry, Chris.
No, that's true. I mean, but he was the comic relief in Justice League. He was the comic relief of that team.
Well, yeah, as soon as I said he's Flash, they knew who I was talking about, but they don't have any clue about his, problems.
There was comedy in Justice League.
No, there was awkwardness that some people considered comedy.
That's what
if you laugh at the neurodivergent character, then yeah, you can consider that comedy.
Yeah.
Look, Gunn's motivations are purely financial. Any of his statements or anything else, he's got to get the financial backing to make these films or these animated series or television shows, or whatever it is that he's been promoting with his new reboot of everything. So when he tweets something, it's done with a certain amount of political finesse and in pursuit of budget and finance for his creations. I'm sorry, I know that's quite cynical.
Well, and he's started pushing comics a lot lately, and I think that's where we need to remember that he's just doing his job. And it's the same thing we saw at the end of the Flash trailer was a bunch of comics.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what they did. They put 3 comic books up there. If you want to read about this, check out these poorly received, complete trash pieces of comic material. Enjoy. Oh, and Tom King's a freaking great writer.
No, I don't blame him. He's doing what he's being paid for, but that means I'm not going to trust if anything he says out of his mouth until now or the movies come out, basically.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: if Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is good, and I know we haven't got there yet trailer-wise, but if that's good, it will lend a little more credibility to Gunn. Because
absolutely,
right now, I don't hold him in very high regard, despite the first Guardians film being good. So.
Yeah. As for me, what he said about Tom King and basically his Batman movie and his Catwoman, like all this Tom King plus bringing in Wesley Crusher for Batman. I mean, my expectation is completely nosedived.
That's the way people look at Damian Wayne.
Yeah, Wesley Crusher. You mean
referred to as the Wesley Crusher of the Batverse? Yes.
Batman. Yeah.
Oh.